How to curb your inner critic. Psychology for writers. Your inner critic is that unhelpful voice which sends you critical messages, which says things like, "You're not adequate, you've got nothing to say, you're boring." It can cause imposter syndrome, where we think, how dare I dare to think I can write and become a writer? And writer's block, where nothing seems to come to mind, however much you want to write something. There's just a blank screen or blank page in front of you. In this video, I want to show you some ways of constructively turning this little gremlin from negative voice to a helpful editor. 1. Blast your critical voice with your purpose. Every time you write anything, have a clear purpose ready, a mission if you like, so that your task becomes more important than your relationship with your critic. It doesn't have to be a dramatic purpose. It can be something gentle like, I want to explore a certain subject, I want to investigate a particular story. You don't need to go for world domination, at least not in everything you write, but a clear purpose will lower your critic's volume. 2. Dump off your inner critic's repeated messages by writing them down or doodling them and have fun with this. Make your inner critic into a little Smurf character or some sort of cartoon. Ask yourself about these messages. Where's the evidence? Often any evidence may be clumsy or unkind comments from a teacher or family member from years ago. Something else to think about here is that by a slight shift of the spotlight, any negative quality can become a positive. For instance, if you think you're inadequate, that could become hypersensitive. Quite a good quality for a writer. Lazy could become relaxed. Offset these inner critic messages with the ones your greatest fan would give you. Write them down too. And remember, with writing, it's a craft. Any criticism you've had about your writing involves a skill which can be improved with your tools, which are words. 3. What messages will your critic give you when you employ it as your editor? If your critic is working for you as editor, give it specific times to give feedback and give it guidelines to follow of asking what is working well in this writing and is there anything the writer can do more or less of, which is you. Lots of writers like to do what's often called a vomit draft, which isn't a very nice description, where you just get down all your ideas, then summon your inner editor to zoom into action at an appointed time. 4. Create distance with your inner voice by getting it to call you by your name or a moniker, like Supreme Writer. Get it to give you helpful, constructive chatter inside your head. Supreme Writer, what does your main character want here? Word God, what is the main point of your copy here? You are creating distance here from your feelings and making the critic less powerful. Ethan Cross's fascinating book Chatter goes into loads of helpful detail about this. 5. If we think about what our inner critic does, it often prevents our fingers moving across the keyboard creatively. So sometimes a physical workaround can help. Post-it notes or cards or a digital planning system can get your words flowing, using questions and answers around your subject or story action points. When you've got a big array of post-it notes in front of you, it knocks out worry on the blank screen. Now, I'm creating this video using Apple Dictation just on an iPad with my AirPods in. Dictation is a very helpful way of keeping the inner critic quiet and getting a lot of words down quickly. You'll need to edit usually, but many super prolific writers use it to create book series. Experiment with Google Voice to Text, Apple Dictation, or transcription services like Rev or Otter. If this method then appeals to you, you may want to look at the Dragon Riders Facebook page to find out more about costlier but more accurate software, Dragon by Nuance. So, here's just 5 ways to curb your inner critic and turn it into your friend, the editor. 1. Overwhelm it with purpose. 2. Get down its messages and challenge and rationalise them. 3. Give it a new job, helpful editor. 4. Distance it from your feelings by getting it to address you constructively by a name. And 5. Use physical means, post-it notes and/or dictation to deny your critic your attention. Word gods and supreme writers, your writing kingdom awaits you. Go forth!